I'm Ruth and I'm presenting PHP Variables and Scope. Variables are containers for storing information. In PHP we have some rules to follow before writing a variable. First, the variable needs to start with a $sign followed by the name of the variable. The name must start with a letter or underscore, but not with a number. The name also can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores, and they are also case sensitive. PHP is also a loosely typed language. This means that PHP already interprets if you wrote a string or a number without declaring it, right? It's already very intuitive. This also can bring some problems that you can solve with a strict statement. Let's see an example. I have here 3 different variables, and my first one is a string. And to output these variables, you need to write an echo statement. You can also make equations with the variables. We said that PHP is a loosely typed language, right? And some of the problems could bring this is that you can add text or numbers without receiving an error, right? So as I said, there is a strict declaration you can use to avoid this. You can write that strict declaration before the variable. Variables has different scopes: local, global, and static. A variable declared outside a function has a global scope and can only be accessed outside a function. But instead, a variable declared with a local scope can be accessed within that function. If we see in this example, I have a function here. If I try to call the y variable inside my function, semicolon, I forgot. Okay, if I try to call my y variable inside my function, it won't work because y has a global scope. But if I try to add another variable inside my function, even with the same name, this variable has a local scope, so this can be accessed inside this function but not outside it. If we run the code, it should display sorry, I didn't call the function here, that's why. Okay, let's try again with, okay, it says 65. If I comment this, we will see it won't work with the y variable outside the function. We can also use a global keyword to access a global variable from within a function. Let's try this. Okay, I use a global keyword to access both variables from outside the function. If I try to run this, we will see it will work because it has the global keyword. PHP also stores all global variables in an array called globals. The index of this array holds the name of the variable, and this array is also accessible from within functions and can be used to update global variables directly. So these globals statements or arrays can be written like this. We can rewrite this second statement. like this. And if we try to call this function, let's change my variable to see the result. We will see it works. PHP also has the static keyword. Normally when a function is completed or executed, all of its variables are deleted. But sometimes we want the variable to not be deleted. And how we do this? With the static keyword. If we write in our function the word static with our first function, right? Let's comment this or erase it. We need to write this keyword statement for the variable to preserve this variable, right? And we will print in each time. I will break line here. Okay, every time it calls, it will reserve the last number it was stored in the variable. So I will call my function 3 different times. And we see that the first time we store the variable with x, because we make an addition to that number. The second time when we call it, it will display 1 and the next one 2, right? So this is my presentation of PHP Variables and Scope. If you have any questions or something you would like to know, please let me know in comments, or anything you need to know, just let me know. Thank you.